That's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23. You talk about this Washington defense. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator. Because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the #1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
Loose inside the 30. Inside the 10. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tony Pollard. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Cowboys will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of the team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week. We're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
From his end zone is Byron Pringle. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Brissett to throw on first. And incomplete on the deep ball. Well, Charles, this Thanksgiving tradition, so great. I mean, going back essentially through the full century of the NFL, I know you probably have a lot of fond memories of Thanksgiving Day football yourself.
I certainly do, and I don't have the Turkey Bowl tradition. The families that go out and play.
And shutting him off now open field. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Play action now. Brissett. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Was trying to find Jahan Dotson, but it's going to be second down. You look at this Cowboy defense. This unit, 3rd best in the NFL in stopping the run.
Numbers don't tell you everything, but they do paint a pretty good picture. We're talking about 2 top 5 units going at each other. 1 in running the ball, 1 in stopping the run. I think this is going to be a whole lot of fun myself.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now Brissett. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And Prescott is going to change things up here. That's caught out wide by Cooks. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. They'll come up 2nd and 7. Now they'll change things up. On play action, Prescott. He finds his man, complete. It's Ferguson. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 93 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
Gallup in motion right. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. This defense, tough to run against. And those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the second level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
And his kick is good. So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
From the end zone, here's Pringle. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. Flexing his muscle at the 30. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Here now, 3rd and a yard. Throwing, Brissett. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
4th down, Brissett. That is caught. And this is going to wind up working out just fine as he'll have a Washington first down. And an exhale there as they convert on 4th. They only needed that 1 yard going for it on 4th. I got to be honest. I thought they were going to stay on the ground. They surprised me. Did they surprise you?
I'm with you on that one. I thought they'd find a way to create some type of a power run and try and pick up the first down. But they decided to keep the ball in the hands of the guy who could throw it, and it paid off.
And that decision paid off indeed. It was Osa Odighizuwa on the tackle. This defense for the Cowboys, they were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
They go play action with Brissett. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And the Commanders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as good running gets them down to about the 4-yard line. Robinson. We'll get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Gibson will score. Touchdown, Commanders. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much, don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. The Cowboys at 7-3 now on the year, and they've been in a great groove. Winners of 7 of their last 10 now on the year.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
98 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this 1st half. Now Prescott going to change the play. 2nd down, Pollard again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the 1st half.
So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And it'll be 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. From the left hash, this from 34. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They currently sit 1 game over 500 thanks to their victory a week ago. Yeah, Charles, they've been really an up-and-down team all year. Do you think that they have enough to get into the playoffs?
Well, you did mention they've been up and down all year, so to me, it depends on what week you catch them. When they're at their best, I think they're definitely playoff-worthy. But to me, they haven't been able to bring the intensity week in and week out, and that could be their Achilles heel.
And he can muster only a couple here to the 24. You know, thinking of this Thanksgiving Day game, Charles, for years we've heard the talk, why don't we open up these Thanksgiving Day games instead of just being Detroit and Dallas every year, give other teams a shot to host? I know you're kind of like me, a bit of a traditionalist, but what do you have to say to that, CD?
I think it's a great argument, and the league could support it quite well, where you could move games to different spots and still be very successful on Thanksgiving Day, but you're exactly right. I am a traditionalist. I really don't want Detroit and Dallas to give up those slots. I like the fact that we watch them each and every year, but what I really like is that the league added a 3rd game in 2006, and usually it's division rivals, but that's the 3rd one of the day, and it caps off a great day of football.
That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least 1 home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he carries this one past the midfield stripe and into Commander territory. Washington on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Here's Pollard again. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. Got his man there complete to Gallup. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A Cowboy 1st down there. Prescott to Gallup.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
Running right, it's Pollard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Now Dak, he's going to mix it up. They go back to Pollard on 2nd down. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4.
That's a gain of 8. Makes it 3rd and 4.
Here's Prescott. He's got his target. That's complete. Touchdown! Brandon Cooks with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Tanner Muse with it. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
2nd and 19 at the 45-yard line.
That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break.
Commanders 7.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. From the end zone, here's Pringle. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. All in all, pretty manageable deficit, Charles, here as they start this third quarter offensively when you consider the fact that in the first 2 quarters, they had 2 costly turnovers.
I think you laid it out there perfectly, partner. Very tough to hold a lead going into the break if you continue to hand it over on multiple drives.
Yeah, and obviously, Charles, it would be very tough to climb back into the game if those turnovers continue.
I would say borderline impossible. You keep turning it over, I don't know how you make up a deficit.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Brissett. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. Now he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards the play. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Brissett now. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. On third down, Robinson. And a pretty good burst there as they get this across midfield and down to the 46. 104 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
2nd down and a run by Robinson. And he's got this pretty close to a 1st down at the Cowboys' 39.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They'll run with Gibson. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the 1st half, and that trend is continuing here.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. The set throw complete to Dotson. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 20-yard line. From the red zone now, Brissett eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Back to the ground with Gibson. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Here's Brissett. These guys running back out of the backfield. And the Commanders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They'll run with Gibson. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
To throw is Brissett. Forced out to his left. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Jacoby Brissett taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Commanders are back within a score. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead will shrink to 6.
Commanders 14.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. But, Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
On second down, Prescott again. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
He's been patient this entire game, waiting for the perfect moment to surprise them with a quarterback keeper. There he catches him off guard and converts his first rush of the game into a first down. Gotta love that efficiency.
Now this throw caught left side. Now he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. We're on to the fourth here on Thanksgiving Day. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 30-yard line, second and 12. He gets it to Cooks. Called a gain of 3 on the play, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 10.
Prescott off play action. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick six? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return, a very good field position. Tip your cap to DeMarcus Lawrence. Nice play defensively.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Play fake, Brissett. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Commanders strike quickly here to tie up the ball game. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open to the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
A very important extra point there, up and good, and they have taken the lead here in this fourth quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Cowboys take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
Second down, Pollard again. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Play action now. Prescott steps away to his left. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, Prescott. And that's complete downfield to Cooks. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 31-yard line.
2nd down, Prescott. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of 2 halves, won't you?
Right, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
They start on the ground with Robinson here. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Dorrance Armstrong in on the stop. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Robinson with another carry. The 2nd down play not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Out of the gun, Brissett. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Down the left sideline. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Commanders use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead. The extra point by Sly is up and good, and that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
And they're on the 17-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. There's still plenty of time here in the fourth quarter. Just a one-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and two-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage. On a bad time late for a poor throw. It's intercepted. Picked off by Emmanuel Forbes. And the Commanders are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. And they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Back to the ground, this time with Gore. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he will have a Commander's first down, and that should just about do it.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the 4th.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them. Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the fourth quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So for Washington, the win moves them a couple games over 500 now at 7-5. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin.